Hey, this is Doug from Foscale Models, and I've started a new HO scale layout. I'm really excited to get building again. It's been a while. It's been over a year and a half since I tore down the previous layout, which was in the exact same spot. I had gone as far as I could with that layout. It was just too uncomfortable to work, mainly because of the height. It was about 6 inches higher than this layout was, so it was very unpleasant to be working in the back. It was deeper. It went all the way to this background, which you can see behind this background. Just took the fun out of working on it. So this one is much lower. It's I can reach all the way to the back, and of course with a stool I can reach even better. This background in the back will get covered with a black painted masonite, so it will hide all that. The line will just end there. It's much smaller than the original layout. The older layout was about 35 feet to the other end, but I've since built a loft area where my computer desk is and my modeling workbench is. So it's about 22 feet, which is plenty of layout for me to work on. I don't have a lot of time to do it, so this will still take me forever to build. But what I want to do is just keep it simple as far as the track and the scenes, and let me show you around. Well, let's take a look at the track plan here. This is the entire plan, more or less. And as I said, it's about 22 feet long. So I don't have a lot of room to work with, but it's still plenty enough space to get in the features I want. Mainly I need a waterfront with a bunch of piers and wharves, some finger piers, and if I'm going to extend this out a little bit so it'll just give that sense of large expanses of water around the piers, and then some waterfront buildings and streets, some really tight, narrow Brooklyn type streets here. Not too many sidings on the whole layout. I've only got 4 at the waterfront end. And then by the time I get to over here, I get another, and there's another 2, so it's a total of 7. So there's 7 sidings to operate, and there's going to be a yard down at the end. It doesn't look quite like this, but similar. And there's one bridge that goes over another canal, waterfront area. And then in here, what I really wanted to concentrate on was some dense city street. I wanted one main street that crosses the tracks and a couple of offshoot streets so I can get some really dense urban New York kind of scenes in there. I do want to add one highway or overpass of some kind here, and maybe one other bridge. I'm not sure where it'll go, but that's the overall plan. So let's start down here at the waterfront. So I've curved the backdrop here. I always hated the older one. Actually, of course, you can still see it. It was a 90-degree corner, and it just never looked right to the eye. This will look a lot better when I photograph it. And as I said, this is the old backdrop, which will get blacked out with black painted masonite eventually. The layout will get extended here. Be a nice sweeping curve right there, so we can extend that water area there. One long pier there with a big wharf building, smaller building here, another one there in the back, and some streets and more streets here. One problem I still have that I cannot make go away are these support columns. They really are the bane of my existence. I lose sleep over these stupid things, but they are needed. They support this whole upper ceiling and then this big shameful mess on top. But the columns are necessary, so I have to find a way to hide them. So I'll probably, this is just a cardboard mock-up, put a structure around it, maybe a little bigger. It definitely has to be taller. The only way to completely hide it would be to put a skyscraper here, but that just doesn't make sense next to the tracks where we're modeling. So it'll have to be some kind of smaller building, maybe about this high, and then I could just cover this with the backdrop material just to not see that dark green. We've got this sort of urban street scene. There's going to be one main street here. These are cobblestone sections that are hydrocal, which will get weathered eventually. I just put them there just to visualize what's going to look like. And some other streets here, another street here, possibly some kind of overpass. This is a recycled section from my old layout. I'm just using it as a mock-up for height and where it could go. I'm not sure if it needs to be straight or at an angle. So operation-wise, it'll be pretty simple. I've just got a 3-track yard here and then 7 sidings that need to be serviced. This wall is probably going to be here. This is recycled from the old layout, and I can raise this surface up, and of course there'll be a backdrop here too. I have to continue this, and I have to figure out a solution for lighting, because I have removed all of it when I did this loft over here. So I need to hang some kind of LED lights up in this section here. But that's basically the entire layout. Now, there is a runaround track here, so I can use it to operate off of these sidings and move the engine and come back over here. One of the things I wanted to make sure I did this time was create opportunities for mini scenes and modeling, you know, detailed scenes. So like this little canal, originally when I started laying out this foam, I stopped it here, but then I extended this because now I can have some nice little shallow low tide scene here. Lots of little juts when I can. I've tapered this so the river looks like it just kind of disappears in the back instead of this big, I'd have to solve it with some big backdrop solution of water. Now it's only this big, so it's a little easier to manage visually. And over here, back at the other end, I've got another opportunity for a little mini scene here. It's going to be tricky trying to fit some buildings in here because this space is really not that big. So it might be the kind of thing where it's just a small building and then an open yard with a crane or something like that to service these tracks. These are just buildings from the old layout, just to give me some sense of scale and what I can do in the new section here. I will definitely be reusing these buildings. So I really missed working on a layout in my shop. It's been way too long, so I'm really excited about this. And I'm going to be posting more videos as I go along to show you what I'm working on. So thanks for watching, and thanks to our Patreon supporters. Check out our Patreon page where we post kit updates, modeling updates, what we're doing on this layout now. And also check out our new line of 3D printed HO scale figures, humanity to scale, on our website, fosskits.com. Thanks a lot.